For more than a decade, thecollegeinvestor.com has given extensive reviews of tax software, and so this year is no exception. We're definitely diving into this year's top selections for tax software for you to DIY your taxes. In this video, we are going to be covering TurboTax for you to file your 2022 return in 2023. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up guys? It's Justine with The College Investor, investing and personal finance for millennials. Now, as a millennial and somebody who is a taxpayer alongside her husband, we've definitely done our fair share of taxes. And I have to say, reviewing all of these tax software back to back, you quickly see who's a front runner and which tax software to completely avoid. TurboTax consistently remains one of the top performing tax software out there. Very robust, very user friendly, and as somebody who is not a CPA and doesn't understand the tax jargon, I feel like this was so intuitive, especially with their Q&A guidance. So let's get into whether or not TurboTax is really free to file your taxes. There is a free version of TurboTax, however, it's very limited. This is really only for households who are W-2 income earners or maybe have Social Security income coming in, and then there's also a couple of deductions that you'll be able to take, such as the child tax credit, the student loan interest deduction, and the earned income credit. But that's really only limited to simple tax returns only. If you have things like a health savings account, or if you have any earned income from dividends from various investments, then you're actually going to be bumped up into the deluxe version. Okay, let me give you a quick idea of what pricing looks like for TurboTax, because it is the most expensive tax software on the market. You get what you pay for, I will say, but you're gonna go ahead and pay top dollar for this type of tax software. So the free edition is free, but it's very limited. I feel like a lot of people are probably going to be in the deluxe tier or higher. Now that's starting at $59 plus the state additional, which is $49 per state. Typically, what we've seen in the past is as the tax software rolls out and it becomes available for that particular tax year, it's going to be the lowest amount. As you get closer to that filing date of April 15th, it typically increases in price, so it's always a good idea to go ahead and lock in the lowest price available. Premier is $89 plus that state additional, and then self-employed, if you run your own business, much like I do, it's the most expensive at $119. But what's cool about this is that you can go ahead and jump into the tax software and start uploading things, and you only pay for the tax software when you file. So what's new in 2023 for TurboTax? Keep in mind that the newest version of the software is most likely coming out early December. If you're watching this video after early December of 2022, then you have the access to the latest and greatest tax software. Taxes are going to stay relatively the same for 2023. However, tax brackets have changed from 2022 to the following year. Everything has increased mainly due to inflation and all the craziness of the economy right now. That means there are higher brackets for capital gains taxes, for the earned income tax credit, a bump up in the gift tax inclusion, and then keep in mind that those health savings account contribution limits have also increased, which is tax deductible. Also, be on the lookout for any state level changes, such as the California middle class tax refund. So if that applies to you, I definitely need to look into this. Then you'll want to make sure you understand those tax law changes at the state level. With all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the TurboTax software and I'll show you how it works. All right, so once you get an account set up and you're logged into TurboTax, it is going to give you this really nice workflow, a vertical workflow in the middle of the screen to show you exactly where you're at in the tax return process. So obviously you're going to start with your personal information, and you can review and edit and jump around through these different sections, which I kind of like, but also make sure that you have your documents all put together ahead of time. What I like to do is create a tax document folder on my desktop, and then any W-2s or 1099s or any kind of interest forms, everything goes into one document. And what's nice about TurboTax is that you can upload these documents directly into the tax software. Since I'm doing a dummy account, I won't be able to upload actual W-2 and tax form information, but I'm going to show you exactly how handy this is, because I find the upload feature is well worth it versus any tax software that does not have that feature. Is such a pain to go in there manually. All right, so you can go ahead and input all of your personal information here, state whether or not you're single or married, and any dependents that you might have. And then you click continue. And we're just gonna work this from top to bottom. You'll first start with the federal section, and then we'll go income and expenses, deductions and credits, other tax situations, then a review, and then the same thing for the state. So you're always gonna have this left-hand navigation menu to refer back to. What I like about this is that there's no tax jargon, there's no question about what I need to work on. So we can go ahead and add in a W-2, which I went ahead and filled out, but I'm gonna click open this W-2 form to show you what it looks like. This is where you can go ahead and upload those W-2 forms directly into the tax software. So if I did add another W-2, then you can click on this box B. Just typing in some random numbers here. Okay, so once you type in that employer ID number, then you can select whether or not you want to upload from your computer or type it in yourself. But because this is a dummy account, I'm typing it in myself. Click continue, and then you'll go ahead and fill out all of the form here. So it actually breaks up your W-2s into different sections. So this would be your top section here, and then you move on to the different boxes. You'll get all of this information from your W-2, so if you're like, what? Click on this question mark icon here. That's going to pop open this little help menu to show you exactly what it is that they are asking for. So if you ever have questions about what's going on inside of the tax software, I find these little question mark icons are really helpful. Okay, go ahead and delete that one. Okay, so I went ahead and filled out a W-2. So you can see what I have, advanced refrigeration. If you know, you know. Click continue. Then this is where you fill out all the other different boxes that you can find on your W-2, your income, your wages, your taxes that were withheld, and then any of these other situations, boxes 7 through 14 you would select, and then go ahead and add in all of that stuff directly into TurboTax. All right, once you get your W-2 inputted into the tax software, then they're going to tell you whether or not you're getting a refund or if you owe. In this example, I'm getting a $2,085 refund, but we still have to input other deductions and credits. So let's just go through the rest of the form. Check for uncommon situations. None of those apply to me. Okay, and I just have one W-2. So we'll go ahead and click continue. All right, then I can see if I have any self-employment income, income from a 1099 MISC, miscellaneous, or any investments or interest here. So let's say you had a 1099 INT. Did you have any investment income? Then you can click yes. Okay, continue. What's cool about this is they actually link up with a lot of different known financial institutions where you can just simply connect these. So if you had any cryptocurrency investments that you wanted to track, you could easily add in things like Coinbase or Robinhood cryptocurrency, TD Ameritrade. Let's see what all they have. Vanguard. I mean, this is great because then you could just click on one of these. Let's click on Betterment. And then you would add in your email and your Betterment password that's associated with that account, and then quickly add in that bank information from Betterment. Okay, what if I click on enter a different way? All right, so you can always go through here and do the 1099 INT or the 1099 div form. These ones are pretty common that you'll probably have if you've done any outside investments. So if I do 1099 INT, click continue. You can do the upload again or bring it over from your bank. All you have to do is sign in. That's great. And then here it's going to tell you exactly which accounts. Okay, now I'm gonna go back out of this because I actually don't have any of these forms. Do you have any investment income? No. All right, then we're gonna click continue. And here's where they're gonna get you with an upsell. Of course, it's TurboTax. They're the priciest tax software out there. So then it's gonna tell you, okay, let's take a look at your self-employed, because I did select the self-employed TurboTax edition, so you'd have to do the upgrade or continue without these extra benefits. So it makes it seem like you have to do the upgrade because they're wanting to add on the review from a tax expert, unlimited tax advice, all this stuff for 200 bucks. If you find that beneficial, especially if you are self-employed, I feel like that unlimited tax advice could be beneficial depending on who you get. I mean, it's TurboTax, so I'm hoping you get somebody legit. Okay, and then you upgrade to TurboTax Live anytime, blah, 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 continue. Did you take a disaster distribution at any time between 2018 and 2020? No. Did you receive, sell, exchange, or dispose of any virtual currency? No. All right, now we're going to get into the deductions and credits. What I like about this is it's got clear sections and it tells you exactly which one needs review, which ones have not been started yet. So let's take a look at the advanced payments. Let's check for child and other dependent credits. And it even gives you like a quick video about it.
This year, the child tax credit expanded to help more American families. A few things changed that might impact your taxes.
Huh. That is really cool. Was this helpful? Yeah. Did you receive any advanced child tax credit payments from the IRS? Let's say you did. Yes. Let's see. If you had an IRS letter mailed to you, then it can show you exactly how much money you received. Okay. So let's see if we got $1,200 from that. Continue. And I love that they have this little GIF that shows you exactly where to find this amount. The visuals are always helpful, in my opinion. If you can have visuals of like, hey, here's where you can find that exact amount right on this form, that's really helpful. Okay, let's move on to where you spent the most time. Was your main home located in US for 6 or more months? Yes. Let's check for uncommon situations. None of those. Okay. Oop. 1,200 is the correct amount. Congrats, you get a tax break. You qualify for the child tax credit. Cool. All right, then we can move on to dependent care credit. Did you have a principal place of residence in the US? Yes. Whose care did you pay for? Say Quinn. How much did you pay for Quinn's care in 2021? Be sure to also include money paid from an FSA, a flexible spending account, which you can pay for any daycare or childcare costs related to a dependent through a flexible spending account. I think it's a great feature of the FSAs. Okay, total dependent care expenses. I want to know more about this. So you can include things like babysitters. Ooh, babysitters? Nursery schools, preschools. Do not include medical expenses, tuition costs for kindergarten, private schools. This is really interesting, mainly because I have a kid, so I'm like, oh wow, I really need to pay attention to this. After school programs, nursery schools, preschool, day camps. Certain household services. You can include the services of a cook, maid, babysitter, housekeeper, or cleaning person if the services were for the care of your dependent. That is awesome. Okay, let's say that I spent $24,000 on that. So $2,000 a month for dependent care costs. Wow, that really affected the refund. And what's interesting about this is that you're gonna see that refund amount change, or the amount owed, depending on what you put into the tax software. So we can always include, like, let's say I paid Nancy Fancy the full amount. Okay, before we continue, we thought you should know funds you paid for your child care helped you save money on your taxes via the child care dependent credit. You may also want to consider a flexible spending account through your employer. That's because money you put in a flexible spending account, this is what I was talking about, is tax-free, which could lower your overall tax bill. However, funds contributed toward a flexible spending account cannot be used towards the calculation of the child dependent care credit. You need to balance contributions between out-of-pocket expenses and funds contributed to the FSA to maximize your tax savings. Cool. All right. Continue. I'm glad they add that as a note. That's like a little bit of tax advice that was just provided. So done, no, continue, continue, and then donations to charity. Any of these eligible donations, yes. Who did you donate to in 2021? What qualifies as charity? Does Goodwill count as a charity? Public charities like Goodwill. Yep. Okay. So let's say we did a lot of Goodwill trips. We did a lot of items. How do you want to value your donations? We'll find the values using its deductible, best if your 20 donations are under $500. Sure. Huh. Okay. Let's see about this. Let's say we donated some infants' clothing. Oh, wow, this gets really detailed. Okay, so I think in this instance, if you were going to itemize your charitable contributions like this, save your receipts from all of your Goodwill shopping or your Goodwill donation trips. I myself go and drop off things to Goodwill constantly. I mean, at least once a month. So if you do that, make sure that you are keeping track of exactly what you are donating in order to get this type of deduction. Let's go back. Back. And we'll just skip this for now. Okay. Here's all the other deductions and credits here too. So you can see exactly any of these other things that you could deduct, such as scholarships if you had a 1098 form, tax relief related to COVID-19, medical, so your HSA contributions, if you have a health savings account, you can add that quickly in there. Your retirement and your investments. If you had traditional and Roth IRA contributions, which at thecollegeinvestor.com, we talk about IRAs all the time. These are great investment vehicles. So let's say you did have Roth IRA contributions. Yes. Is this a repayment? No. Your max contribution amount for the year is $6,000 for a Roth. So let's say we contributed the max. We did not switch this over. Yes, we've had it open before. Let us track your Roth IRA basis. Keeping track of your Roth IRA contribution conversions or basis can help you in the future. If you receive an early withdrawal from a Roth IRA, you close the Roth IRA and its value decreases. No, thank you. No excess contributions. Continue. Now it's time for the fun part, your tax breaks. Okay, anything else? And I love that they give you a scrolling list of all the different things that you could input here. So if any of these things, if you're like, oh, I definitely had moving expenses, then I can go ahead and add that in, and they're gonna guide you through this. What I love about TurboTax is everything is this Q&A guidance. Just checking if you're a homeowner. Nope. All right. And then they're going to spit out their recommendation of whether or not you should take itemized or standard. And they're recommending the standard. So we'll go ahead and go with that recommendation. Enter the total charitable cash contributions. Even if you're not itemizing, you can still deduct up to $300. Okay, let's say we contributed $300. Okay, then it's going to take you through these other tax situations. So most likely this isn't you. No, I didn't. Do you want to apply your refund to next year's return? No. No. Did you experience identity theft? No, I didn't. Okay. Did you get a third stimulus payment? No. Making sure you got 0. Early 20 might seem long, but we recommend going back and forth. No, let's just say yes, 0 is right. You qualify for the recovery rebate credit. Your credit is based on your adjusted gross income of $105,929. Total third stimulus payment. Of course, I'm just, going through this exercise without actually having a actual prepared tax document. So let's go ahead and go through this. Let's check if you need Form 1095A if you purchase health insurance. No. All right. Then we are going to go through the tax software. It's going to basically have their Autobots just go through everything and look at your federal return just to make sure everything looks good. This is a massive refund. If I got an $11,000 refund, then I'm probably doing something wrong with my taxes. It means that I gave the government way too much of my income. So I would need to change some things to make sure that I am not overpaying in taxes and getting this refund back, because that's like an interest-free loan you are giving to the government. They don't pay you back any interest. So that's why I do not like getting massive refunds. But they're going to tell this because I input just some fake numbers. Once you do the federal review and you get through all of that, the state taxes are pretty much the same. You're going to go through those same sections of the income and expenses, deductions and credits, other tax situations, and then the review. Don't forget that the state tax return is an additional dollar amount on top of what you pay to file your taxes with TurboTax. So TurboTax is really safe, secure. They consistently are a leader when it comes to data protection. Also, it's widely available for you to go ahead and purchase. We will leave a link below for you to check out and sign up for TurboTax. I find that this is one of the top performing tax software out there. It's also the most expensive. You get what you pay for though. If you want something that is not going to mess up, that is not going to have any glitches, that isn't overfilled with tax jargon that you don't understand, this is the way to go. Now, if you are just looking for something that is just baseline, I know I've had some experience filing my taxes and I know what forms I have, then you might want to take a look at tax software like Free Tax USA or TaxSlayer. Those have a smaller price point and are going to get you what you need. Also, if you want to check out a leading competitor to TurboTax, don't forget about H&R Block. H&R Block has all the same usability and functionality of TurboTax, except they're slightly less expensive. So don't forget, we have complete walkthroughs and reviews of all the latest and greatest tax software available at thecollegeinvestor.com. If you like this one, be sure to give it a thumbs up. We'll catch you in the next one.